but it did. Here's the full frame. I'm not perfectly centered. We are running a flat field correction. Let's see if these stars will settle down. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Love it. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and let's do another. I'm not going to do the sharpening yet. I'm going to hold off on that. Maybe I will try in a little bit again. We'll try it one more time. But I'm going up to stacking because that's the key function for me. So the flat field correction is still in operation, and you can see that the field is pretty even from edge to edge. That's what we like to see. And all the hot pixels are subtracted out, so they're gone. And I've got just a 50-point spread on the histogram. That's very small, very high contrast. Okay, and so let's go down now to the stacking, live stacking, aligning frames. I've clicked that. No, additive. So, all right, so I've got planet selected here. That seems to be necessary. And I'm going up here to additive. And we're going to do the original in 2 and not challenge it too much. And now I'm going to do enable. So it immediately put a picture in there, and now I'm going to click align. Once in a while, I go back and I just check. My task manager makes certain my priority is still working. I'm working on one processor. I wish they would eventually fix that. That would be nice. Well, it's gotten the information it wanted. It's got the stars. It says, okay, we're going to get the second upgrade added on here. The second image will be added on. There it is. And then it's going to add one more. And after it does, I will use the histogram and darken it down. This is such a beautiful galaxy. It's huge. Wow. Okay, now we're going to put the dark set right in the top of the peak of the histogram, and I'm going to move the white set out a little bit. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, darkens down. Isn't that nice? You can work with a histogram and it doesn't crash the program, doesn't give you a Pink Floyd. Hey Jack, good to see you. Please loving the technique. Well, we're doing pretty good, Jack. We've got M101 here in a full moon. And the stacking is working very nicely. I might have made it too dark for you guys. I'm going to brighten that background a little bit so you can see it. I made it too dark. Now, last night I was actually taking 30-second integrations, and I was going up to 2.5 and 3.5 minutes. No problem at all. I've never been able to do that before. So So this is coming out pretty well with a full moon. I imagine I know that when we have a dark sky, it's really it'll really have some pop. We'll see a lot more information. Digital bending tool by tool. Nope, this is full resolution imaging. Would you like to see which camera? It's a DS16M jack. DS16M. Yeah, we can do digital binning. I think you've seen that we can bring in M101, and let's use it with digital binning. It'll make our pictures a lot shorter. So let me unhook us from the stacking. We'll get a raw image com. There it is. And I brightened it up a little bit by dropping down the dark side a little bit so you can see it better. It should be okay. Let's see if that's enough. Enough to see it. Well, you know, it's a single frame, so that's what we have right now. And let's go up now. We're not doing stacking, and I'm going up to the trigger box, trigger mode, and stopping it. Let's put it on 30 seconds and loop 30. We can loop 30. It's not going to be too much trailing of stars, even though I have an alt-azimuth scope. Really, I don't have an equatorial mount. This is just alt-azimuth, and of course the danger here is that field rotation that you pick up, especially if you don't have really good alignment. Okay, there's 30. Now, let's bring it down here, take a look at the histogram. Look where that peak in the histogram got, climbed way up midway. It's all right, we don't need much room. I only want to have something like 60, 70 points on the histogram in that spread. Okay, so make the arms a little bit brighter, and I'm going to lower that down from 116. We'll take it down to 112, 111. And let's see what, maybe too much. 113. Okay, so now let's stack. I'm going to do additive. We have a dim image, so when you've got a dim image and you're going to do stacking, you got to do additive. You want to add all these photons of these images so you get something to work with. So I'm going to put it up now to 5 in the original. That's 6 pictures we're going to make a stack out of. That's a 3-minute integrated exposure if we get all the way up there. So the first picture's in, and now I clicked on align, and now we need to be patient. There's the second one in. And it says, okay, there we are, no waiting. And Jack, we are running one processor, so I still run Affinity with one processor. If I don't, the program will work, but it's irregular how much you have to wait. So if I activate it, it seems to have no other bad effects, and it eliminates the waiting. Okay, so output is 2, and it's going to get bright. So I'm going to have to darken this down. So that's two pictures that are now added. And there's three. And it's just like before. So we have three images that are added and in the display, and there's a total input of 4. So there's only a difference of 1. You like to see the input and the output differ by just 1 frame. And now you can see the streaking from my azimuth field rotation problem. So now the input is 5 and the output is 4. Yeah, I'm trying to. It seems there probably should be some effect, do we? Let's just follow it for a minute. It's that's the 5th picture now added in, and we only have 1 more to go. And then I'm hoping that the star trailing will go away, and it will clear up. That's what happened last night. Now, let's see. On my histogram, if I make it 121, 3, using the contrast close to the zenith. No, he's not close to the zenith. He's about 30 degrees off the zenith right now. Let's follow it for a bit and see where it goes. But you see, this is 6 images in the stack. The original and then 5 additional ones. So, I don't know. Although it's streaked a bit because of the field rotation, I think that we were doing just about as good. Now it's starting to darken from the histogram action. On 21, maybe 120. Let's keep an eye on those trailing stars and see if they tighten up a little bit better. I think eventually they have to. I'm not completely sure about additive stacking. I think when you do your first picture, which is the reference, is used, it never changes in the stack. Now, I might be wrong about that. Hey, good night, Ed. Well, this seems to be about as good as we're going to get with this kind of big stack. And the total integration time is 3 minutes. Because we're doing 6 30-second integrations. So that's 3 minutes worth. So I think let's do it one more time, I'm going to uncouple it from here. Maybe I'll take a picture of this as a record of what we did here. And now I'm going to unhook the stacking. There we are. That's the raw image again. And now we can set this stack up again. I'm going to take it down to the original and 2. That's just 3. And let's take the, I'll stop the looping and we'll take us back down to 20 seconds. There we go. Hey, roughly. Rusty, where are you? The Backwood Bison RV Park? Is that near you in Oklahoma? Or are you out on the road? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that made it darker because I shortened the exposure. We have to change our histogram. There it is. Okay, the next one coming in, we should see M101 again. Rusty, I'm going to add in 10% sharpening on this, okay? We'll see what that does to it. No, I don't see it very well there. Really faint. Sharpening. So 500. Well, 50 would be 10%. That's 10% right there. Let's leave it like that. That looks less distinct than it did before, folks. It must be we have some haze overhead. I know there's haze in the area. What do you think? Okay, I'm crunching in. This is a 55 point spread in the histogram. And I'm going to start the stacking now. Okay, down we go. So we have additive checked. And Jack, if you're there, I pointed out to people that I was using stacking with the planet check instead of deep sky, and that seemed to work for me very well. Okay, so I've clicked enable. And Billy's saying, try contrast bar increase in color adjustment tab. You mean where? Where, Dewey? Oh, okay. And Jack, I don't know. This is the version of software from May the 23rd. Okay, so now let's see where we are. Says okay. It started the stack. And we're looking at one picture, and the next refresh here is going to be adding the second one in. And there it is. Look at how much less distinct it is now, everybody, compared to earlier. I think we must have haze built in. Haze has come in. 20-second exposure and a stack of 3. Well, from looking at just this, I guess I'd have to say I can't see it as well as I did when we had a stack of 6. There were 30 seconds, but earlier we had a pretty good view. Okay, so Shall we see what we can get with digital binning? If I do the digital binning, I'll just let me grab one of these pictures here. There it is. So this has been pretty good for me. I'm a happy camper. I have nice images that I can observe with, and I'm not crashing the program. I'm not getting the Pink Floyds, and it lets me manipulate my picture the way I like to, and that's to work with my histogram here. I'm so used to doing that. Okay, so let me stop the stacking. And let's go now to make sure that goes down to the raw image. There it is. So that's the raw image. And I just moved the dark set down so it'll give a brighter picture for us for you to look at. And now I'm going to save these pictures that I had grabbed. I'm saving them. PCC phenomenon. Now, Ski, you've got to tell me what that is. You should be around 88 degrees with 60% humidity. He's looking on a weather map. A little rusty, I guess. And Dewey, speak up. What's this contrast bar increase in the color adjustment tab? Oh, yes, we can try that. That works well. Here's the contrast bar. Increase the contrast. Let's see what happens here. It should work similarly as working with a histogram, but it doesn't display the same. And I don't know why that is. Okay, we're going to make it brighter now. Well, we were working with 0.36 gamma all night. Isn't that awful? All right, everybody. Time to pack up and go home. Gee, this is terrible. This is a catastrophe. I was working with gamma of 0.35. No wonder we had kind of washed out looking pictures. Okay, let's try it again. I'm going to pull this. Defaults are all down now. Let's see if we have any image at all. Here it comes. Okay. And look where the histogram peak went when we go to a gamma of 1, which is what we're supposed to have. I'm sorry, everybody. This is terrible. Let's see what happens in looking at our galaxy with there. So this is with no gamma applied. And let's do that stack again real quickly. That's right down here. Live stacking, the original in 2. Let's do the original in 3 and click. Here we are. Okay, and then I align and click the image. There's nothing quite like live broadcasting. You get to see all the warts and blemishes. You get to show all your knowledge and your history. stupidity. Oh, there it is. Isn't that nice how it updates? This is terrific. Okay, so now I'm darkening that background a little bit. Too bright. I have a very narrow spread on the histogram. It's only something on the order of 50 points. Let's see what will happen. We went from a Caddo Indian powwow, so I'm calling it a night. Okay. Good night, Rusty. Thanks for joining us. Let's see what will happen here. Now it's darkening down. This is a stack of 4. We have the original in 1. The original in 3. There we come. And let's see what it's going to do here. Probably should take it down a couple. Okay, so it works. We're back in the paint with gamma at 1. And so I'm going to unhook now from the stacking. We still have that flat field working, and it's working just fine. It's quite amazing. And if we look out to the very edge of the picture, you can see that it is basically holding very well. The right-hand edge of the picture was a little bit darker. So it's time probably to do another flat field. But we're going to do, let's get this frame in. There we go. Let's go up here to digital dimming. And 2x2, there it is. Oh, I have to turn off the looping. Activate, binning, start the looping if I still want the time. Well, the time should now be, I don't know, I should be able to take it down to 10 seconds at least. It should be a quarter of what it was. Let's loop on 10 seconds. Oh dear. Okay, so it's brighter. And that's how it's looking in the histogram. Let's see what happens. Okay. Now you can see all the hot pixels in this image because I have a flat field that no longer applies. In fact, it got kicked off because it was not a match. So I'm going outside right now to set up for another flat field, and I'll be right back. I need to click, before I forget, on my histogram, I click on default. There we go, and I'll be right back.